What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why you might have strain when you're singing high notes. So as you're ascending in your range, things might feel tight in your throat, and I want to talk to you about why that might happen and also what you can do to prevent that from happening or to reverse that from happening. Now, if you don't know, my name is Shari. I'm a singer, songwriter, and vocal coach and creator of the online community for singers, The Empowered Vocalist, where I help singers unlock their full vocal potential. And a lot of singers come to me because of the fact that when they are singing higher notes, they feel strain in their throat. Or they might feel fatigued, they might just try to push for it. And I want to talk to you exactly about the reason why this is happening. So there are a number of reasons why this could potentially be happening, but the majority of the time it's going to be because you are not using the right muscles when you're going for your higher pitches. So you're probably familiar with something called your chest voice and then your head voice. And traditionally what happens is when you're singing lower pitches, you're using the muscles that are active in chest voice, and a lot of times people want to bring those same muscles up into their upper register. And what needs to happen is that your vocal cords need to stretch and get nice and thin. So when you're singing in your chest register, your vocal cords are shorter and thicker in posture. And if you're trying to use those same muscles and you're trying to bring it up, your vocal cords are not going to stretch. So you need to do the handoff to your upper register muscles, your cricothyroid, and let your vocal cords stretch. Now, the other thing is okay, if I let my vocal cords stretch, if I go over to that upper register, it sounds just like falsetto and there's no thickness, there's no weight to it. And that's another reason why singers come to me, right? Is because they want to be able to have the thickness in their upper register. But they might not necessarily have the thickness in their upper register because they didn't develop it down here in chest voice. So let's talk about both of these registers for a second. When you're singing in chest voice, your vocal cords are going to be shorter and thicker, and the deepest layer of the vocal folds is the one that's going to be vibrating the most. That's the one that's going to be the most active when you're in chest voice. If you are singing in chest voice, but you're not able to actually get that deep layer vibrating, then you're not actually singing what's called functional chest voice. You're not actually in chest voice. So when you're down here in this part of your range, it sounds like this. Ah, that's not chest voice. But if it sounds like ah, that's chest voice. And the other component of it is that there's no air in the tone when you're down there. And just the capability to access that type of quality is something that is going to help you when it comes to going to your upper range and things not feeling really, really loose, right? Or not feeling really, really breathy and soft. Now, if you're not sure if your chest voice is functional or not, I do have a video where you can assess your chest voice and know if you're actually singing in chest voice, in what's called functional chest voice. And the same is for falsetto. You have to be able to access falsetto. And this right here might actually be what is lacking in your voice if you struggle with singing higher pitches. You really need to develop this part of your range. So you're going to want to do a lot of hooty exercises. Ooh. Even sirens, woo, things like that. And when you're singing in falsetto, you're going to want to look for the opposite of chest voice. So it's not going to be no air in the tone. There's going to be a lot of air in the tone. It's going to be really breathy. You're going to be very generous with your airflow, and you're not going to feel any strain as you're ascending. Ooh, as you're ascending in range. And a lot of times what happens is that you might feel like you're losing control of this part of your voice, and that's because you're just letting go. Like the control that you feel is actually tension. Okay, so you have to just relax and let that go and let the sound move up. And once you get good at accessing this part of your range on a consistent basis, once you get good at doing that, then you can go and work on trying to connect the registers and blend them. Because a lot of times what will happen is that you have chest voice down, but that's kind of like all you can do, or you might have falsetto down and that's all you can do. And once you're in that register, you can't get out of it. You can't access that heavier, chestier sound. So I'd recommend working on both registers. Work on both. Work on your upper range and work on the chest voice. Work on chest voice and and then work on connecting both of those registers. And you can do that through things like there are different scales that you can do, like the octave and a half scale. And just make sure that when you're coming down, you're actually in chest voice as opposed to right head voice down there. And then you can do things like octave flips, like ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. So that is flipping registers. And then you're going to want to try to make it so that when you're going to the upper part of your range, it gets thicker up there. You can get some thickness in the upper part of your range in falsetto. So that's the next step, is once you connect your registers, then you're going to want to try to make it so that you can still get proper adduction, what's called adduction, which is your vocal cords coming together. So first we were talking about falsetto being nice and light and breathy, but now we need to get some vocal fold closure up there. Ooh, as opposed to like ooh, right? But you can't really get there in a way that is effortless unless you know how to ooh, do it like that. Like, we need to make sure that you can do that first. Then you can work on ooh, which is more like head voice. Ooh, and then that's going to become ooh, hey. You know, like that's what's going to become bigger. But we have to be able to start. We have to start in a way where it's lighter. We have to be able to do it lighter up there first. So then once you have your upper register and you have your lower register and they're developed, when it comes to singing the higher pitches louder, you might need to do some vocal thickening exercises in your upper range. Okay, so thickening even though your vocal cords are stretching. So you want to make sure that they're still stretching, but you can still do some thickening. And some cool exercises that can be useful for things like that are going to be raspberries, like things like that. So I hope that answers the question of why you might struggle when it comes to singing higher notes. It could just be that you are trying to pull your chest voice way too high and you're not getting that mix. You're not letting the handoff happen between your upper register and your lower register, or you might let it happen, but you're not getting that thickness, you know. So that's kind of like one of the most common things that I see, but there also can be things that are going on in your own body that are preventing you from being able to sing higher notes without strain. So for example, it could be your posture when you're singing. It could be that you are carrying tension in your jaw or carrying tension in your neck that is impacting your larynx, and because of that you're feeling tightness as you're trying to go up in your range. But it's like, how do you know that? How do you know what's actually going on? So I want to let you know about my online community for singers, because it's a free community and you can find out a whole lot of information about your voice and resources to help you to combat what you might be experiencing. For example, what you'll find out is you'll be able to go through a series of body movements that are going to help you uncover areas of your body that need to be addressed when it comes to singing. So for example, I'll have you do some arms up stuff. I'll have you do some different things with your posture. You'll do different things with your tongue, with your neck, with your jaw, to see like, where is it coming from? And then you'll also get exercises to help if you realize that you have jaw tension or if you realize that you have tongue tension. There's exercises in there. It's all free for you to go ahead and release that tension that you might be experiencing when you're singing. And so that's why the Empowered Vocalist is really cool, because it helps you to address what's happening in your body and also helps you with developing your register. Now, when it comes to what's offered inside of the community as far as developing your register, I start with the foundation of a powerful voice throughout your entire range, which is chest voice. Most people that I meet don't actually have a functional chest register. They can sing down in the chest register range, but their chest voice is actually not functional, meaning that those muscles that I told you need to be involved are not involved, or they have too much air in the bottom part of their range and they don't know how to sing without air in that bottom part of their range. I really hope this is helpful for you to kind of get like a roadmap of what you need to do when it comes to working on your voice and relieving tension in your upper range. If you're having trouble singing in your upper range, I highly recommend doing some falsetto work, some work that's going to stretch your vocal folds, and then do the connecting of your registers from chest to head voice, and then go ahead and do some thickening exercises that are going to thicken the vocal cords. Inside of the Empowered Vocalist community, I do have a vocal thickening workout that you could earn access to. Guys, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any more questions about the voice, I would love to answer them for you. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. But until then, keep dreaming with your eyes wide open. Bye.